I declared when I first had my political appointment as governor of North Eastern State. Then I declared when I became member of Supreme Military Council and Minister of Petroleum. And when I was leaving for War College in 1979. Of course, when I became a head of state, again in the military, I declared. But when I was removed from head of state, I did not declare. I ended up in detention for 3¼ years, and I don't think I was asked to declare, because I think those who put me there know what I was worth. They didn't ask me to declare. But when I came out, got into politics, and became president, I declared. So I declared at least 4 times. And I understand that if you want to see my declaration, you have got the constitutional right to go to one of the government, I think, account commission or what, to go and ask that you want the declaration asset of such an officer who held public office. But I declared 4 times. I mentioned which banks I borrowed money and developed which plot I was given. I declared, I could even remember declaring the number of cattle I had then and cars, you know. According to the form, I declared. All these declarations were deposited in the Ministry of Justice. So if Ministry of Justice could not produce my declarations and how I got about my properties, then they too should answer some questions. Why do they keep the declarations of public officers?
But we had made attempt, and then they say we should go to Code of Conduct Bureau to get them, and then get this. And when we got there, they said it's the president, unless they have an express permission from the president to make it public, it can be made public. So we were being told to, the president is...
Why me alone? Why are all other people who are governors and ministers and so on? I said I declared 4 times, and I certainly don't have to ask them. I think they must have browbeaten you. I don't have to ask them to give you my asset declaration. I think you have the constitutional role to go and make yourself known that you are representing such a
media organization. But we wrote a Freedom of Information request asking, and then now please tie into that, because it has to do with this steel corruption, the fight against corruption. Now you are perceived to be fighting this corruption lopsidedly. People from the one party, that's the perception of a lot of people, and even the people who belong to that party, the previous government. Whereas there are also people in your party who also have this thing on their necks, and there are some of them are in your cabinet. It's the president. Tell us, why are they there? And these other people are in the court and they're being arrested.
In the court?
Yes, in the court. Some others are in court, and these other ones are in the cabinet.
Well, I haven't been a Democrat for how long now? Since April 2002. I don't think I tolerate corruption. I don't think I have picked anybody that I know would embarrass my government. But if you have got any evidence about any of my ministers, I accept the responsibility for the 36 ministers I have, although I have 24 ministries. I think if you've got the facts, you have got the right as a Nigerian citizen to take them to court. To say you don't want ABC in cabinet because they've got a case in court. I don't think I have taken anybody among the ministers who has got a case on court on corruption. Tell me one out of the 36.
So what you're saying is the issue is that some of them have been arrested by the government and then they are being prosecuted, you know, and they feel it is only one-sided. No, not ministers. Not ministers. Some other persons who were in previous government, and some of these people who are in the government were also in government, and they kind of, there's a perception that they were corrupt, and then even some television networks showed clips and brought things they call evidence. I'm not in the court. I'm not a judge. I cannot claim that they were exact or they were true evidences or stuff. But they were on the public domain. Newspapers carried the stories, and
I don't know where I was. How I missed that. But I know conscientiously I do not pick any person that has been in court for corruption. I don't think I would have deliberately made that mistake.
So in essence, Mr. President is saying that if you find any member of your cabinet, you will definitely sack them?
Certainly. Not only sacking, I will insist that the case go back through the court.
Okay.
I will certainly do that.
President, sir.
Yes.
The members of your cabinet, how many of them have declared their assets? Because they're also in position to manage a lot of money.
Yes, well, that is a constitutional issue, as I said.
Have they declared their assets?
They are supposed to declare assets. I don't have to line them up. They know they have to declare their assets.
Okay. Who is going to make sure that they do it?
They will make sure they do it themselves because they are a constitutional issue.
Even the governors, I haven't heard. We all focused on you and your assets.
You want me to do that job?
We need to hear that your ministers have also declared their assets.
All right, now let's move on very quickly, Your Excellency. Let's look at the issue of security. And when we talk about security or insecurity in Nigeria, one of the sore points that continue to plague this nation, which President Obama, our Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, David Cameron, everybody all around the world, they've continued to talk about it consistently, is the issue of the Chibok girls. And recently, we've heard that there is a technical defeat of Boko Haram. But we know for a fact that Mr. President did say during the election and even after the election that until, I think it was at the swearing in, Your Excellency, that you said that Boko Haram will be defeated when we sort out the issue of all the people that were kidnapped by Boko Haram, including the Chibok girls, and you got a loud ovation for that. When are we going to bring the girls back? And what is this government doing in terms of ensuring that, yes, you've combed Sambisa Forest and everywhere, and you're able to get them back?
I think this is about the third time I will answer this question on Chibok girls. I could recall mentioning that some leadership of Boko Haram, perceived leadership of Boko Haram, wanted to make contact. But we insisted on establishing the bona fide of the so-called Boko Haram leadership before we can agree to negotiate with them on what terms would they release the gas to us so that we can take them to their parents and back to their school. That's number one. Number two, we want to be sure, that they are complete, 209 I think, and that they are safe and sound. But what we know so far, by attacking some of the locations in Bizapur and so on, no Chibok girl has been recovered. They must have dispersed them all over the place. And we wanted, as far as humanly possible, although some of the parents are that desperate, they would rather see their grave, see them in their grave, than the condition some of them are alleged to have been in. We are still keeping our option open that if a credible leadership of Boko Haram can be established and they tell us where those guys are, we are prepared to negotiate with them without any precondition. This we have made it absolutely clear. But while they are keeping the Chibok girls, they must not get away with the idea that we will not attempt to secure the rest of Nigeria.
Okay, so does Mr. President believe, or do you have intelligence that confirms that, yes, the girls are still alive and they are in the possession of Boko Haram? Do you have that intelligence?
That's what I'm looking for. I said we are looking for a credible Boko Haram leadership that will convince us that the girls are there and are alive. If any Boko Haram terrorist come out and said he is a leader and that he knows where Chibok girls are, we can't automatically believe him.
But what about our intelligence, both military and civil intelligence through SSS and the rest of them? Do they have any information that confirms to Nigerians, and especially the office of the president, that we know for a fact that Chibok girls are alive and they are okay and they are in this location or that location or wherever it is they are? Do we have any information whatsoever?
Not credible information. I am working with Niger, with Chad, with Cameroon, and I assure you that the question of Chibok girls is all in our minds for even humanitarian reasons. But there is no firm intelligence where those girls are physically are and what condition they are in. But what we believe from our intelligence, they keep shifting them around so that they are not taken by surprise and they get freed. And they are not kept, the whole lot of them, not in one place. And we don't know how many divisions they made of them and where they are.